I get asked this question all the time. Should I buy a house to live in or to invest? So let me tell you the data-driven answer to this question. Let's say you have $130,000 in savings. With this $130K in savings, the bank can let you buy a $650,000 property, which is like a one-bedroom apartment in Sydney or Melbourne if you live there. It's also like a pretty nice house if you want to invest in Perth or in Brisbane or Adelaide. If you buy a one-bedroom unit, this $650K will typically save you a rent of about $400 a week. Right? That's what you would pay if you were renting a one-bedroom place for this price point. Over 10 years, you will save $268,000 in rent. Now, there will be expenses, of course. Strata, insurance, interest on your loan, of course. And these expenses will typically be about $400,000. According to our data model, this one-bedroom apartment in Sydney and Melbourne will increase by about $270,000 over the next 10 years. This means that this $130K in savings you have today could give you a net profit of about $140,000 in the next 10 years. So basically, you're going to double your investment in 10 years. Now, your other option for this price and for this investment is to buy a 3 or 4 bedroom house with a big land close to Brisbane, Adelaide, or Perth CBD. Rental yield in these areas is much higher than Sydney and Melbourne, right? Sydney and Melbourne are about 3% yield. In this area, we get between 4 and 6%, depending on the type of property. This means that the rent you are going to receive is about twice the amount of rent you would save by buying a property in Sydney or Melbourne. Now, your expenses are going to be a little bit higher. First of all, your interest rate or investment properties are slightly higher than for owner-occupiers. Then you will have to pay your property manager, which is about 8% of your rent that you give each month to someone to manage your property. Now, on the positive side, you will not pay strata because there is no strata on a house. And in Sydney and Melbourne, strata costs can actually amount to a lot of money, between $1,000 and $1,500 per quarter. It's massive. Even better, capital growth in these areas are 2 to 3 times faster than in Sydney. This means that after 10 years, you could actually make a total profit of $550,000. That's it. The maths are pretty simple. Buying a house in a top performing growth location outside Melbourne and Sydney can be 3 times profitable than buying a unit in Sydney and Melbourne. One final tip for you. 45% of Australians who invest in property today are rentvestors. They buy a house to invest and they rent where they live, where the market is already too expensive.